Good morning. Our prelude today is April in Paris by Vernon Duke.
Welcome to First Unitarian Church of Orlando. I'm Rhonda Rodriguez, a worship associate here at 1U. If this is your first time here, or your 101st time, we are glad you are here. If you carry the weight of a weary world on your shoulders, or you entered through the doors with a song in your heart and a skip in your step, and yes, even though we're online, we still have doors, we are glad you are here. If you are the loudest voice in the town square or the subtle hand behind the scenes, we are glad you are here. If you have failed once or 1,000 times, we are glad you are here. If you sing like angels or mumble beyond the hymnal or just keep your mouth closed and listen to our amazing musical director do his thing, we are glad you are here. This community is what it is because of your presence. So welcome. Welcome into this space of love, support, justice, compassion, fellowship, and worship. We are glad you are here. For more information on our congregation, go to orlandouu.org or email WelcomeTeam@orlandouu.org. This has been a busy week here at 1U. Our candidating week comes to a close today. Many of us have had the opportunity in our groups and in our committees to meet with Reverend Margarlie Belizaire. And after worship today, we'll have a short but very important meeting about the future of our church. And our board president, Mary, will say more about that in just a moment. It's been fun and exciting to get to know Reverend Margalie, and we're looking forward to having her back in the pulpit today. After the service, we'll gather in a congregational meeting to vote on the call to the Reverend Margarlie Belizaire as our settled minister. So today we won't have our usual fellowship time. Here's the Zoom information for the meeting. Today in worship, we're happy to welcome Reverend Margalie back to the pulpit. And right now, let's go to an announcement from our board president regarding the meeting after the service.
All during candidating week, we, the members of First U, and our ministerial candidate, Reverend Margarlie Belizaire, have been walking together. And now we have come to the end of candidating week, and our members are participating in the process of calling our next settled minister by submitting their votes. If you have already voted, thank you. If you are a 1U member and have not yet voted, please vote so that you may be part of this important event in the life of our church. You have two ways to vote. One is to use an online ballot, and the other is to call in your vote. Instructions for voting are available in the most recent weekly update and the two special emails that were sent out to 1U members on Friday and Saturday. The voting period ends at noon today, Sunday. The board is hopeful that 1U members will participate in this important congregational vote in numbers well beyond the minimum required by our bylaws, and that's 40% of our membership. A robust affirmative vote will help set the tone for our shared ministry together. After our worship service today, we'll be holding a special congregational meeting via Zoom, and the link is available in the weekly update. There'll be two parts to that meeting. The first part is going to start at 11:30 and go till noon, and it'll be used to recap the ministerial search process and give you a chance to ask questions. The second part will begin at 1 p.m. At that time, we'll announce the results of the vote, and if the vote is resoundingly affirmative, and we sure hope it is and expect it to be, we will issue the call and welcome our next settled minister to lead us forward. Our Board of Trustees and myself, the president, your president, hope to see you there.
Thank you, Mary. We've had a lot of events this week to get to know Reverend Margalie. Right now, this morning, let's go to an update on our Lighting the Way generosity campaign to make this year of ministry possible. We are so grateful for your generous gifts. Our goal is $416,000. So if you haven't made a commitment to give for next program year, it's not too late. You can make your pledge online. Just go to our website and click the Make Your Generosity pledge, or send in your pledge card, or email your pledge commitment to the church. As many of you know, our family is relatively new to 1U. We got here in Orlando in 2017, and finding a supportive UU congregation was one of the first things on our agenda. We had found our church before we even found an apartment, to be honest. We were lucky to come from a very warm, supportive UU congregation in upstate New York, and that was something that we were hoping to replicate here in Florida. And we're glad to be part of 1U. My husband and I are proud to be members, to be part of the RE committee, and to help with RE activities. And I'm glad to also be part of the worship team. How have you benefited from the church? What do you love about this church? Think about that as you consider making a pledge and what this church does for individuals and for the community. To make a gift or pay your pledge online, just go to orlandouu.org, click the donate button in the upper right corner, or send a text or send a check. You can also give to our Share the Plate offering through all those ways. April, our Share the Plate benefits the Joy MCC Food Pantry. It's always great to be together. Now, let's worship.
We are working to be free. We are working to be free. Hate and greed and jealousy. We are working to be free. We can feed our every need. We can feed our every need. We can feed our every need. Start with love, that is the seed. We can feed our every need. Peace and freedom is our cry. Peace and freedom is our cry. Peace and freedom is our cry. Without these, the world will die. Peace and freedom is our cry. We are building a new way. We are building a new way. We are building a new way. Feeling stronger every day. We are building a new way.
We are called to worship this morning by the words of Reverend Michael Slack. There is still much work to be done and many rivers to cross. May our shared faith carry us through. Have you ever made your way to the edge of a riverbank? The terrain may be slippery and uneven with loose dirt and shifting rocks, and it may be hard to settle our wheels, our canes, or our feet on the unsteady beneath. But we go anyway because of what we may find there. All the growing things and surprises of nature, the uncertainty and the intensity of the adventure. Sometimes alone, at other times with our best people living water. Today, we will journey together. Come and go with us. Come, dear ones, let us worship together.
Good morning. I'm Allison McMillan.
And I'm Rose Byler. And we're members of 1U's Ministerial Search Committee. We're happy to be here with you this morning to light our chalice. In the light of truth and in the warmth of love, we gather to seek, to sustain, and to share.
Good morning. It's lovely to be with you here this morning. I'm Sarah Gray, religious educator here at First Unitarian Church of Orlando. So today is a really exciting day for our church. Today is the day when we, as a congregation, will vote to confirm Reverend Margarlie Belizaire as our new settled minister. And if most of us vote yes, then she'll be coming to join us here in August, which is really exciting. So it's still a ways away, so while we wait for that time to begin, we still have lots to do to get ready. We have spent the last couple of years talking about our hopes and dreams for the future at our church. And now it is time to start thinking about how we will build that beautiful future with Reverend Margalie. So join me as we read a story about a family who, as the author says, are setting about laying the foundation for their life together. embracing life's endless opportunities, and finding all we need to build a future together. What we'll build, plans for our together future. Oliver Jeffers. What shall we build, you and I? Let's gather all our tools for a start. For putting together and taking apart. Let's build a door where there was none. We'll build a house to be our home. I'll build your future and you'll build mine. We'll build a watch to keep our time. We'll build some love to set aside and build a hole where we can hide. A fortress to keep our enemies out and higher walls for when they shout. But you don't always lose and you don't always win. So we'll build a gate to let them in. We'll be able to drink our tea and say, I'm sorry, me too, me three. We'll build a tower to watch the sky and other worlds that pass us by. Let's build a tunnel to anywhere. Let's build a road up to the moon. Let's build a comfy place to rest, for we'll be tired soon. Let's build a boat that can't be broken, that will not sink or be cracked open. A place to stay when all is lost, to keep the things we love the most. We'll put these favorite things beside the earlier love we set aside. I think that we may want them later, when times are hard and needs are greater. But first things first, let's build a fire, for we've planned a lot, and now we're tired. It'll keep us warm like when we're born, then we'll say good night as all's all right. These are the things we'll build, you and I.
We now enter a time of mindfulness. This will begin with a prayer followed by a guided meditation. At the end of the meditation, there will be silence for you to reflect, also to honor and remember in the chat those who are on your mind and heart and our practice of communion of names. This morning, we come together to worship. Some of us with joy in our hearts, while others with sorrow. May there be space here to hold all of it. Gratitude for this joy shared by Linda, that the bench pictured here, made possible by the generosity of Anne and Bob Patton, is now in place in the flower garden by Dan Homlet's labor. And much, much gratitude for the joy of a week together, getting to know one another.
Spirit of light and love, we are grateful and relieved by the outcome of the murder trial of George Floyd, and pray for strength in the continued fight for racial justice. Also, we continue to pray for our Asian siblings, for refugees looking for a better life, for anyone suffering, that they are afforded some relief. We pray for our One Earth, our blue boat that continues to be depleted of its resources, that we acknowledge our interconnectedness to every living thing, and that a harm to the earth is a harm to ourselves. For those and for so much more, we pray. We pray that we may get what we need to take care of ourselves, our loved ones, and our neighbors. I now invite you into meditative prayer. Center yourself in your space while focusing on your breath. Breathe in and breathe out. Close your eyes or soften your gaze as you are willing and able. Stay focused on your breath. Now, imagine you are in a clearing, a green, lush meadow where the sun is warm and a soft breeze is blowing. You are perfectly at ease in this meadow. As you travel through the clearing, you come to the edge of a forest that is calm and inviting. You might hear birds chirping from the soft rustle of the wind blowing through the breeze. The forest calls you inward, and you continue traveling deeper into the forest, knowing you are safe and held in this moment. In the forest, you come to a small lake with cool, moving water. You take a moment to rest after your long journey through the meadow and the forest. As you sit at this water's edge, you begin to reflect on your journey, both the one you just took walking through the forest and your life's journey. You look back over the moments in your life and assess how you journeyed so far. You smile and celebrate the times when you were at your best. You continue to reflect, and you commit to do better where opportunities were missed. You think about all the decisions you made and those that were made for you, all of which have led you here to this point in your life. At another water's edge, you bless all the moments, the ones where you were at your best and the ones that you commit to do better. You continue to linger at the water's edge a little bit longer, deciding on your next step. Take a moment and decide how you move forward. Now, open your eyes slowly if they are closed. And may you use all water's edge moments wisely. May they be blessed.
When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we trust the wisdom in each of us, every color, every creed and kind, and we see our faces in each other's eyes, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we tell our story from deep inside, and we listen with a loving mind, and we hear our voices in each other's words, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we share the silence of sacred space, and the God of our heart stirs within, and we feel the power of each other's faith, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place.
May your new work excite your heart, kindle your mind creativity to journey beyond the old limits of all that has become wearisome. May this work challenge you toward new frontiers that will emerge as you begin to approach them, calling forth from you the full force and depth of your undiscovered gifts. May the work fit the rhythm of your soul, enabling you to draw from the invisible new ideas and a vision that will inspire. Remember to be kind to those who work for you. Endeavor to remain aware of the quiet world that lives beneath each face. Be fair in your expectations, compassionate in your criticism. May you have the grace of encouragement to awaken the gift of the other's heart, building in them the confidence to follow the call of the gift. May you come to know that work which emerges from the mind of love will have beauty and form of the energy of the heart and the light of your thought. May your work assume a proper place in your life instead of owning or using you. May it challenge and refine you, bringing you every day further into the wonder of the heart. John O'Donoghue, blessings for a new position.
For below me I feel no motion, standing on these mountains and plains, far away from the rolling ocean. Still my dry land heart can say, I've been sailing all my life now. Never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home. Sun my sail and moon my rudder, as I ply the starry sea, leaning over the edge in wonder, casting questions into the deep, drifting here with my ship's companions, all we kindred pilgrim souls, making our way by the lights of the heavens in our beautiful blue boat home. I give thanks to the waves upholding me, hail the great winds urging me on, greet the infinite sea before me, sing the sky my sailor's song. I was born upon the fathoms, never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home. can say, I've been sailing all my life now. Never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home.
When I inquire of the transition office of the UUA, which of the congregations in search was the healthiest, the answer was unequivocally Orlando. Which is why I've come to find myself here before you today, wanting to be your next minister. I was really glad to hear that, because moving to Orlando is a sort of homecoming for me, as I grew up in Miami. And I have family here in the Orlando area, including my dear nephew, Dimitri. Also, the more I learned about 1U, the more enamored I became. Thanks in part to the wonderful members of the search committee, Craig Alleg, Rose Bealey, Craig Buckingham, Marty Haney, Elizabeth Horn, Allison McMillan, and Sandy Pollock. Thank you. Now, in addition to extreme heat, when I think of Orlando, Florida in general, I think of water. And recently, I've been meditating on the phrase being at the water's edge a lot. The image that phrase brings up for me is of sitting on a rock near a body of water, not unlike the one in our meditation a short while ago. At sunset, listening to the waves and birds flying overhead. I'm pensive and reflective there as I look on over the water, which calms my heart and mind. I feel grounded, comforted, and content, ripe for deep reflection. Being at a metaphoric water's edge means to be at a place where possibilities exist and questions arise. Does one attempt to retrace their steps, choosing to live in the past, the good old days? Does one insist on remaining put at the water's edge, deciding they've gone far enough or as far as they wish to go, and wanting things to remain the same? Or does one take a leap of faith, get in the water, and actively live what's next? I believe it is healthy when in transition, when at the water's edge, to take the time to look back over one's life, over the moments, and assess how they have journeyed so far. To take stock, celebrate the times when they were at their best, and to commit to doing better where opportunities were missed. It is a chance to plan and strategize. And as people of faith, it is also a time to replenish our spirits and to take and to prepare for what's ahead. It is exactly what at 1U you have been doing with Reverend Sam, and I have been doing. We, you and I, have been preparing separately and apart to come together at this water's edge. We are now prepared to take the plunge and commit to doing ministry together. We've journeyed far and wide separately and have accomplished much with others, and who have shaped and reshaped our hearts until we are more fully who we are, to quote Alice Walker. And now it is our turn to work together and shape and reshape each other's hearts, build each other's future. So, what is to be our work together? How shall we be with one another in this work? How will we be in relation to one another in our new position? I've learned that at 1U, the priority for the ministers to focus on the congregation's spiritual needs, the inner work, so that the congregation may live our UU principles within the broader community, showing up for social justice and in other capacities. It is also noted that you desire to grow your lay leadership as well as the membership, especially where young families and people of color are concerned. This is all work we will endeavor to do together. And I dare say that we won't truly know the full nature of our work until we are in the thick of it together. We are witnessing a time of great social unrest where it seems that we are finally willing to deal with the racial justice problem. And this past Thursday, April 22nd, being Earth Day 2021, I would be remiss if I didn't bring attention to the depletion of our planet's resources and the perils of global warming. And people are suffering, and we might prove to be the spiritual shelter in the storm that they've been seeking. These and many other pressing issues might find their way to our door. So I think the questions we will need to continuously ask ourselves are, what are we called to do? What are our passions? And what do we have capacity for? Because we cannot do it all. And I think just as important as the work we do together is how we treat one another as we do it. The work can be hard enough. No need to make it unbearable with incivility. It is good to have kind comrades as we labor to make the world better. And the John O'Donohue reading from earlier in the service, there is much to be said about both the work we do and our treatment of each other. Let's take a closer look. May your new work excite your heart, kindle your mind, creativity to journey beyond the old limits of all that has become wearisome. One of the wonderful things to have witnessed during my week here with you is how passionate you are about 1U and the areas where you are directly involved. It is my hope that we inspire one another and are innovative in the work we do together. And that we allow ourselves to try new ways if that's what a situation calls for. O'Donohue continues, may this work challenge you toward new frontiers that will emerge as you begin to approach them, calling forth from you the full force and depth of your undiscovered gifts. And one of the areas that 1U would like to grow is in lay leadership. This is so that those who are presently taking on those roles are not burned out, and that the work is shared, and that there's a passing on of historical knowledge. Therefore, another wish I harbor in my heart as we labor side by side is the realization of untapped and unnoticed gifts and talents. I am confident that there are many gifted leaders here who have yet to step up and claim their roles. May you answer the call to leadership and share your gifts with this for the good of this community. O'Donohue goes on to say, may the work fit the rhythms of your soul, enabling you to draw from the invisible new ideas and a vision that will inspire. We are first and foremost a religious community. And as such, at the core of everything we do ought to be spirituality. And that's easy enough to do if we are open to the idea that everything we human beings do has the potential to be sacred with the appropriate intention behind it. So keeping that in mind, wherever you're sharing your gifts and talents in this beloved community, whether with finance, social justice, buildings and grounds, music, providing tech support, pastoral care, tending to the needs of the next generation, etc. It is all sacred work. May that understanding never be far from our psyche. May we be enriched by our work, and may that allow us to be in touch with the deepest part of us. And oh, how I love this next part. Remember to be kind. Remember to be kind. Endeavor to remain aware of the quiet world that lives behind each face. Be fair in your expectations, compassionate in your criticism. Those are indeed my favorite lines and what I will endeavor to do daily in my interactions with you. May we not forget that it is another human being before us who is worthy of love now, not later, not after they've done this thing or that thing, but now, and deserving to be seen. That doesn't mean we don't hold each other accountable. As a matter of fact, holding one another accountable is an act of kindness. May we offer grace when things go wrong, as they will. And may we always show loving kindness. Otaniu continues, may you have the grace of encouragement to awaken the gift in the other's heart, building in them the confidence to follow the call of the gift. Because we are social beings, it is within our control to make another person's day, week, month, year, decade. None of us, not even one of us, can make it alone, no matter what we've been led to believe. The past year, with us living with COVID, has been a great reminder of how much we depend on one another, even for our very lives. May we always choose to uplift and affirm another. The next section of the text reads, may you come to know that work which emerges from the mind of love will have beauty and form. May this new work be worthy of the energy of your heart and the light of your thought. At least twice over the past week, I have heard Mike McCleskey refer to the work he engages in at the church as fun and enjoyable, and in fact, not arduous at all. And I have felt that energy from many others as well. I believe that's what happened when you approach your work from a place of love. It feels more tangible and beautiful. It can be effortless, even when it's difficult, heart-wrenching, and labor-intensive. Granted, not everyone has the luxury of doing work that is pleasing to their mind and heart. That is true. So may we always approach our work together here in this community from a place of love, and may we let that love continuously change us for the better. And finally, may your work assume a proper space in your life. Instead of owning or using you, may it challenge and refine you, bringing you every day further into the wonder of the heart. I believe this is where self-care comes in. As I noted earlier, we can't do it all, and for some, that's heartbreaking. May we learn that saying no to some things frees us up to say yes to something else, perhaps the thing we must say yes to. And sometimes the only way to serve is to take care of ourselves. In order to serve the community and the world and love, we must tend to our needs. This is so that we are not depleted and sacrifice ourselves unnecessarily. This allows space for us to go deeper into the wonder of our hearts. So, yes, we will build together. We will build upon what we have already built separately as we join together in this commitment to do ministry together. May we do it all for the good of 1U and the larger community. And may we be good, earnest, and kind company to one another. May it be so.
Just as long as I have breath, I must answer yes to life. Though with pain I made my way, still with hope I meet each day. If they ask what I did well, tell them I said yes to life. Just as long as vision lasts, I must answer yes to truth. In my dream and in my dark, always that elusive spark. If they ask what I did well, tell them I said yes to truth. Just as long as my heart beats, I must answer yes to love. Disappointment pierced me through, still I kept on loving you. If they ask what I did best, tell them I said yes to love.
We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
We will end our time together with this prayer from Reverend Joe Cherry. If we have any hope of transforming the world and changing ourselves, we must be bold enough to step into our discomfort, brave enough to be clumsy there, loving enough to forgive ourselves and others. May we, as people of faith, be granted the strength to be so bold, so brave, and so loving. Worship has ended, friends, and now the service truly begins.